Printers and modelers. Hello. Um, in this video, I'm going to show you what you need to do in Fusion to get a model turned into an STL. I'm actually going to show you I'm going to show you a save technique and then how to get it to STL. And then we're going to go over to the slicer we use, Cura, and I'll show you how to actually get the file for 3D printing. And we'll do this for two models. So first, we're going to talk about Fusion and how it saves. I think you know it saves to the cloud. And so if you needed to share a file with me to look at something, you'd want to get a copy down to your hard drive. So even though you don't need to do that for your 3D printing, not really. I'm going to have you do it because if I do print some of your work, you'll be able to know how to give me the Fusion file too. So first we need to open something, and I decided we will open the charger horse that you did with the spline work. So I opened my data panel and double clicked. I don't need to see the canvas, so I'm just going to turn that off. It looks like I didn't pull that up, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up now. Come on. Okay, so that looks like a fairly decent model. I'm going to save that because I want to save this version. Okay, so I don't need the data panel open. I'll close it. The first objective I want to show you is that if you wanted to share this file with someone else, there are ways to do it via the cloud, but there's a file format type called f3d, which basically is like saving the Fusion document, and if you give it to me and I double click it, it opens in Fusion. So you do that by saying export. So if we go to export, you can see Autodesk Fusion 360 archive file. And then you can pick to where it downloads to. I think I'll put it in my 3D printing folder. I don't see anything in this folder because I don't have any other f3d files. But I just click save and then export. And if we go to that folder, you can see, let me sort by date modified. Okay, so that's the file I just exported. So if I double click it, it will open in Fusion. So if I could email that to you as an attachment, you could double click it and open it. Okay, so in some ways that doesn't have anything to do with 3D printing, but in this world of remoteness, if I know I'm going to 3D print something for you, I might ask you for the f3d file, because if I think there's something wrong with the file and the only way I can fix it is the source, then I'll need that file. Okay, now let's get into what you actually need to do for a 3D printer. So we would go to Tools, and under Tools, there's a Make area for 3D printing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to 3D Print. And it's set up to default to go to a 3D printer utility, but we're not going to do that. So I want you to deselect that. And now what it's waiting for me to do is to decide what to 3D print. So I'm going to 3D print this. And then once I click OK, it turns into a Save As dialog box. I have a 3D printer queue document that I have on my desktop, so I'm going to switch to that 3DPQ, and I'm going to call this charger head. And look, so you can see that when we do this, it automatically saves it as an STL file. STL stands for stereolithographic. It's the format that slicers use. So if I open that folder, you can see here's the file I just made. It's an STL. I'm pretty sure you guys have a 3D file viewer, so I think you might have used it for your lithophane. So you can see that's what the file looks like, nice and clean. Okay, So that's part one of 3D printing. Now we're going to go to Cura. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that first video. So that for this first video has to do with using Fusion to either 3D print, where you have to deselect that, and it saves it as an STL. I want you to do that for both the charger horse and the litho. No, never mind about the litho thing. So you're gonna have to do that to the charger horse. I am also gonna want you to export it so that you have an f3d file. So I'll stop this video here and I'll make a second video for slicing.